sim race fans, to another edition of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Points Truck Series action live, coming to you every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from the Nerd TV group over here. This time it's from the simulated Chicagoland Speedway, this 1.5 mile cookie cutter style racetrack. Not present on the current NASCAR schedule, but Full Throttle Sim Racing decided to say, hey, no Road Atlanta, we're going to stick to the normal course here and go to Chicago. I know my partner to my right-hand side loves this place, well, because that's his neighboring track. So, outside of that, my name is Jeremy, aka J-Stan. You see my name above my head, and then to my right, Mr. Illinois guy himself, Mr. Dustin Logston, aka Ballistic. How you doing?
Yeah, a little different being in the booth on a Wednesday. Normally, we're tag teaming it on Mondays, but Mr. Pashibinek, Kenny Bishop, is feeling under the weather tonight, so wish him a speedy recovery. So, unfortunately, you are stuck with me, Jeremy, but hey, what better place than Chicagoland Speedway? Home track for myself, unfortunately, no longer on any schedule, so this is the only place we get to see it happen, baby.
Yeah, I got the COVID too, so I mean, he's underneath the weather he got sinus problems. You would not want to have him in the booth, so I'd much rather hear your voice over there on the right-hand side. Probably going to sound so much cleaner. Speaking of clean, this race should be pretty good. It's pretty cloudy, as you can see, mostly cloudy right now, with a very nice 69 degrees outside on the temperature, and then on the racetrack, only 76 degrees. So it's a pretty cool racetrack for being a northern race in the middle of the summer now. I like it. I like to see the cloud cover. It's going to present some different style of racing. We haven't seen it. We've seen some cloud coverage peak here and there. We saw it at Gateway. I think we saw it at one other track, but we haven't seen a race completely cloudy. So if it stays this way all race long, I might have some good action for you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's most of the time we see it as partly cloudy, but like I said, this one here, it's cloudy, so expect to see those clouds covering that track quite a bit, and it's like you can expect, Jeremy, it's going to affect these drivers. So they're, whatever setups that they had prior, they're going to have to come in and make some adjustments, and like they always do, they'll be adjusting it throughout the race. So you may see drivers struggling at the first part of the race, and lo and behold, they may be there at the end because they've slowly made those adjustments all the way through the race.
Yeah, one guy we're going to keep up to date with on that, we're going to bring in Kenneth Scholes tonight as your Sim Racing Points and Sim Race driver. That's a mouthful there, but essentially we're going to have Kenneth Scholes on the hotline here. If there's a caution, we just might bring him in for a chat to see how the truck's running. You'll see him solo camera running that VR headset. We do have a two-driver
with the shirt on.
With the shirt on, you're correct, because nobody wants to see that, right? I'm just kidding. He probably looks fantastic without it, but who knows? Richie Coy and Kenneth Scholes are both going to be your mosaic drivers. You notice a couple black squares, but we got two drivers in right now, and if someone pops in, then you'll have a third. That'll just be a roulette type of deal. But yeah, it's kind of cool to see Kenneth Scholes being our in-sim driver tonight. So we'll have a new perspective on that, because we have not brought him previously to any of our Nerd TV broadcasts this season. So Dustin, you got a minute and a half left here. Chart's looking pretty tight. What's your thoughts so far in this practice session?
It's so far, you look at the timing charts, the times are very, very tight. You're talking tenths of a seconds here or there. Fast trucks, this track always poses great racing. That's why I was a little sad that they took it off, but they got out of that cookie cutter era of tracks and decided to pull it. But, in the past, this track has always posed great racing, and we know how Full Throttle Sim Racing does their events. It's always good racing, clean, hard, close. And long green flag runs are definitely a commonplace here, so I would expect nothing less as these drivers are going to, pull 150 miles here for, Chicagoland. Should be a good one, Jeremy.
Yeah, I know you don't love the idea of getting away from the cookie cutters, because you love the fact that was NASCAR, that was our bread and butter back in the day, and now we have a bunch of road courses. We have Atlanta, that's a super speedway, like. The cookie cutters.
And I'm not a road racer, Jeremy. I'm not a road racer yet. But I'm not one now.
Remember Sonoma, if you keep that back a couple weeks ago. If you
I
guys
knew
go
you
back
were
to
going to do
about
it.
10 laps to go or so, there was a little conversation we had.
I knew you were going to do it.
Yeah, we're working on it for sure. You will get there. I have faith in you. So does everyone on Nerd TV. Throw out in the chat box, who has faith in Dustin? Can he pull some hot laps or any type of road course and do well? Please let us know. It is open. Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. Please comment, chat with us. It's a great time. As you hear, we're having a fun time before even the checker or the green flag flies. So we're going to have at it. Qualifying is over. Or not qualifying. Wow. See, I'm already having fun. Practice is over. So qualifying is up now. That means it's time to get our mugs off your screen, as always, that we do. To thank our sponsors, plug in some people that are much needed, showing some good love too, like the League the South that you're watching now, Full Throttle Sim Racing. Head yourself over to ftsr.net. Get registered. This is only week 5 of total 14. So I mean, you're only a third of the way through. It doesn't mean you can sign up and at least get your feet wet a little bit. Join the fun. It's a lot of fun out here. A lot of great racing. If you're in a league right now that you have a headache about people causing problems, this is not the place of that. So FTSR.net should be your home. Go ahead and sign up. Mach 1 Performance, race fabrication shop, started by the late Johnny Coy Jr., produced champions from all sorts of dirt, pavement, oval racing. So if your car needs some fabrication work and Mach 1 Performance is in your area, please get your car over there. They will not let you down. Sim Racing Points, official series sponsor for the Truck Series every Wednesday and a partner of the Nerditudes also. Your league points management system that completely changes how your league runs as far as displaying stats, points, anything that you want on a full page layout or just on a little widget. Either one, whatever you want to do with it. The option is yours, and simracingpoints.com is the place to go. Check out their pricing plans and get your league registered today. Thank you to Martin Sports, the home of the sim gloves of all of sim racing. We say that every week only because it's true. I don't spit lies here. At least not, intentionally. They make a bunch of other things other than gloves, though. They make shirts, hoodies, hats, T-shirts. Basically, everything from your waist up, they make it, and it's super comfortable and breathable. And any custom order, it has the fastest turnaround in the business, as long as FedEx is on your side. Head over to martinsports906.com. Use that promo code SUPERNERD, 25% off. Thank you to iRacing iFlag, the official flag marshaling system for the Nerditudes. Essentially, it just goes on your desk and it gives you all the iRacing commands, all the iRacing flags, all in one easy little location, wherever you decide to put that unit. Kind of brings the realism of the track into your sim rig. That little light that you see on the catch fence of most of these cookie cutters. It's like that, but glorified. One-of-a-kind product, really. Head over to iRacing iFlag and at least look at it. If not, purchase it. It's not that expensive, especially when you use the code SUPERNERD for 15% off. Thank you to the Butt Kicker, audio enhancement partner for the Nerditudes. We have the Gamer 2 unit in-house, and it is the standard in all sim racing immersion. It brings all the bumps and feels of the track directly into your sim rig, so you match that up with a pair of the iRacing iFlag unit. Put on some Martin Sports gloves. You're basically in the car, minus without being in the car. So head over to thebuttkicker.com. Use that code NERDTV. You get 20% off anything you purchase from The Butt Kicker. Thank you to Moonlight Speed Concepts, a.k.a. now Moonlight Speed at moonlightspeed.com. You're going to go to their site, and if you want a win in any asphalt oval car, whether it be from the little advanced legends all the way to the next gens, they got you covered, and they're going to get you some wins, no doubt. So moonlightspeed.com, join their Discord, follow them on Twitter. They update these setups consistently, always taking drivers' feedbacks and making the best product out there for you. Shout out to housetospeed.us, the official dirt setup partner for the Nerditudes. Professional setups built specifically for dirt ovals. No matter what dirt oval car you are driving, you will have a much better time on the dirt tracks, even with myself included. It speeds me up quite a bit and actually produces some wins for me. So if I can do it, I know you guys can out there as well. Head over to houseofspeed.us. And lastly, Nerd Focus. You see at nerdfocus.com. 2 drinks. Green is sugar. Blue is sugar-free. Both awesome tasting. And they call it a think drink for the reason. Some college kid was like, you know what? I don't like these other drinks out here. I want to make my own a lot cleaner. And there's not that heavy crash afterwards, which there's a lot of complaints about that. So nerdfocus.com, super nerd at checkout, 10% off. And Dustin, I got it before the 5-minute mark. So that's pretty impressive.
Getting
Also,
better.
quick mention,
Getting better.
And with more energy too. It's kind of cool. The St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, since we have a couple seconds there, you see it on your lower left column of your screen. That is where you take your smartphone out, at least for the people that are not racing tonight, and you're going to scan that QR code. Any donations you make to that St. Jude's Research Hospital donation link, 100% of the proceeds go to them. We don't see it, never touches us one bit. It's just a direct link to their website, and that's the biggest hospital, I think, worldwide that helps families and children across the world with many different types of illnesses. And parents don't pay a dime. The kids, it's all free coverage because of everyone's donations that go to that hospital. So if you don't know about them by now, probably do now. It's probably one of your last-ditch efforts. So please, anything, $1, $5, does not matter. Anything is appreciated. Dustin, they're on the grid. If you want to go over that starting lineup for us.
Yeah, starting on the pole, Justin Belmonte trying to string together some more consistent finishes. Takes your pole. Defending series champion Bobby Terrell is your outside pole sitter right now. Gil Gach has a strong run, qualifying third. His outside in that number 19. 2 wins on the season so far, Mr. Richie Coy. His Fury Motorsport teammate Brody Hanna is going to roll off the grid 5th. Chuck Sweeting will start 6th. Andrew Palicki, good strong run, qualified 7th. His dancing partner, our driver in rig, participant for tonight's race, Kenneth Scholl, starts 8th. Stephen Allen in that number 14 will roll off grid in P9, and Tony Solari will grid P10.
11th place, you will find Nicholas Casey, who's had that very up and down season so far. Will he get it straightened out and come home with no number 2? We'll find out. Starting 12th, Kevin Rupert. 13th place, Sherwood Williford. 14th, Steve Loomis. And the last 2 to not take time, that number 7 of Wayne Grossi in 15th, and the 55 of Jeff Brayton to his outside, starting in 16th. Dustin, Kevin Rupert, or not Kevin, Kenneth Scholl is looking pretty strong, our in-sim driver. We don't hope for cautions, right? But we don't actually have a lot of times that we bring in Kenneth for the segment. So if we do, any chance, I'd love to get his feedback on that truck. Because we usually don't talk to him too often. It'd be kind of a cool perspective. And you see him right there on the right-hand side of your screen with that black VR headset. Looks kind of cool. Looks futuristic. And of course, the screen's glaring off backside of his unit, so it looks like there's like this blue glow coming off it. It looks kind of cool. Pretty neat setup there.
Oh yeah, it should be good. It's always good to showcase these drivers here. We love having them, their cameras on there, so should be a good one.
Yeah, we're middle of turn 3 and 4. Should be seeing the green flag fly shortly after that pace car does dip down. 100 laps at your home track, being Chicagoland Speedway. Want to know what they're going to do with this track, if they're going to mow it down for more apartments or shopping centers like they always do with any other old track. We'll have to find out. Hopefully not, but green flag is out. Justin Belmonte with a great start here. Mr. Bobby Terrell doesn't show up every week now this season, but he's going to start P2, and he's going to match his energy entering turn number 1 as our side-by-side first and second row.
Yeah, first and second row. Looks like Belmonte is going to start edging out Bobby Terrell. Does clear him. Bobby Terrell puts his nose on the inside, trying to look for that crossover move. Just doesn't have the run going down, but battle for third place between the 85 of Gil Gach and the 19 of Richie Coy. These guys have been battling out since the drop of the green flag, and right behind them, the 23 of Brody Hanna.
Yeah, pretty dicey racing here for the first lap. Still side by side, I think, for 7th or 8th place, including our NSIM driver, Mr. Kenneth Scholl. The top 5 have spaced out here about a truck length so far. Bobby tried to make that early move, could not make it happen. You see the 91 right there going down mid-back stretch over that number 32, Andrew Palicki. Finally makes that pass 100%. And I think that single files out everybody through the field until you get all the way back to 13th, where you see the number 1 of Rupert, which is Kenneth's teammate in Go Racing. You see 33 Kenneth Scholl, or not Kenneth Scholl, Sherwood Williford, and then as well looks like the number 86 of Nicholas Casey. Yeah,
Yeah,
He changed his paint scheme on me.
Yeah, he did. Going that Ricky Bobby, me, but instead of me, it's KC. Man, look at me. I'm just rapping all over the place. But yeah, it's Nicholas Casey trying to move up from his starting spot. We usually see him qualify a little higher, but it's not uncommon to see him start back there. He's usually a driver that can really stretch on a good long run set. So I would expect him to start moving, start picking some drivers off. But like you said, I mean, it's single file as it sits right now, which, Jeremy, I have to say, I'm a little surprised. I mean, look at these drivers. I mean, they're just lined up nose to tail going all the way down the backstretch here. I was expecting a little bit more side-by-side racing, but some of these drivers may be taking it easy, maybe kind of, laxed a little bit. We do have 100 laps here, 150 miles, so it's a long race. They just may be trying to get in their groove.
To answer your last concern there, you will see them go more side by side as this race progresses. Chicago, at least on iRacing, it's not a progressive track, but that second groove can come in 1 and 2. You might actually see them slip up even to the third lane. It is possible. I have seen it plenty of times throughout the years here. So I think as these trucks get a little more worn, or the rubber gets worn into the surface, I think we're definitely going to see some more side by side action. But it is 150 miles, 100 laps. We're only on lap 6, so maybe it's just one of those deals where we finally got these trucks in traffic. We'll just see how things feel out. And to that first part you talked about, where you're trying to rhyme there, is pretty all right. I'll give you a solid B plus. I want to say too, this is Illinois, so there's that Casey General Store that's nearby, and if Nicholas Casey would put Casey on the truck, that'd be pretty clever.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, it's excellent ad placement there. I mean, why not, right? So we got side-by-side racing 2x2 deep here between Kenneth Scholes and Gil Gawk right now. And behind him, it was Tony Solari and Stephen Allen were side-by-side. Almost look like they're going to go 3 wide back there, Jeremy, back around that 8th and 9th place position. These guys, just as you called it, starting to get real racy and dicey now.
Yeah, they heard your concerns, and they quickly said, all right, here's your 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide, 2 wide. And, yeah, they're doing it pretty good. Gil Gawk does fall back behind Kenneth Scholes there. The 14 and the 32 are side by side. The 33 and the 86 still there doing their thing. So, yeah, positions are changing right now.
Yeah, they do look like they start single filing it out there, but again, racing right now between the 32 of Palicki and the 33 of Sherwood Williford. They're going side by side and right back there, almost looking like he wants to nose it in 3 wide, that 86 of Nicholas Casey.
We know he's bad fast most places he goes. He just needs to find some consistency. So it would not surprise me to see him go 3 wide to try to make as many positions as you can while your tires are still kind of fresh. We're on lap 9. They're starting to warm up. They're starting to, feel where the truck might be sitting in the middle of the run. But going back to the race lead, we have a change potentially. The number 4, Bobby Terrell, on that inside of that number 12, Belmonte, pushes them up right at the line. They're going to be almost tied at a .002. This time it goes to Bobby Terrell, the first lead change of the night.
Yeah, side by side through 1 and 2 right now. Belmonte on the outside. Bobby Terrell, defending champion, on the inside. They're going to drag race it down the backstretch, side by side still. These guys have been going at it now for about a lap and a half. And it looks like this one here that might have that run cleared, does Bobby Terrell. But as I say that, it looks like Justin Belmonte trying to battle back on that high side. He's not ready to give it up, Jeremy.
No, this high side has something to prove here. You watch as this run goes on and on. That middle line, it's going to be somewhere to be. That 12 is not going down below that 4. He's going to try to utilize it. Gets a good run off the top there. Going to be door-to-door entering turn number 3.
Yeah, still door-to-door. Again, we are over 2 laps into this side-by-side battle. So, again, these guys really duking it out and showing his nose back there, trying to figure out where these guys are going to go. Is that number 19 of Richie Coy as well. But with the battling going as hard as what this is, he's kind of deadlocked right now, Jeremy.
Top 5 underneath a blanket here, and yeah, the 19, the 23, even the 75 is like, all right, guys, figure out what you want to do because I need to pass both of you. And right now, the 4 and the 12 are not letting that happen. Bobby Terrell putting on an excellent fight at the bottom. It is a little more difficult here in Chicago. 12 of Justin Belmonte doing pretty good. You see the 19 Richie Coy going down right next to that grass, trying to get anything he can out of it, helping the number 4 with a little bit of a draft there down the front stretch. The 4 is so close to clearing him, Dustin, but the 12 just has that center off speed and just matches that energy. Now they're side by side once again.
Yeah, side by side, Jeremy. This is what, over 3 laps now, side by side racing. And I mean, it's the crazy thing is it's side by side clean racing. I mean, these guys are putting on a show right now. And poor Richie Coy back there, you see his truck going back and forth. He's trying to figure out what lane is going to be moving. And the second he jumps up to a lane thinking it's going to move, the other lane that he just left ends up moving.
He's trying to use that draft to anyone's advantage. He sees the 12 finally, and he looks high, but the number 4 quickly closes that door as they finally figure it out. The 19 now going to make a great run here in the middle of turn in the entrance to turn number 3, rather. Dives in there pretty good, almost gets a truck length on him, but just cannot do it. And the number 4 finds that speed that the 12 did on the high side, and now they are side by side.
Yeah, side by side, you see that 19 utilizing that apron down there that they have. Again, trying to get any edge he can. But I tell you what, man, Bobby Terrell, that top side right now, Jeremy, is strong. That's how Belmonte was able to complete that pass and hold strong over Bobby Terrell. Bobby Terrell holding off all of the hard, deep attempts right now from the 19 of Richie Coy. So it looks like that mid to high line is definitely the place to be cruising.
Yeah, the middle to upper lane, you're already seeing it kick in a little bit earlier than I thought even, but I think you're going to see it even more so. I see the leader right now, the number 12, electing to take the middle groove, not wanting to go down to the bottom. He knows that there's already some speed there. That number 4, though, trying to get that run back to his inside there, potentially maybe trying to make a mistake on the top side. But he's following real close there, as you see on the back bumper of Belmonte. He has a grill or a rear bumper of that Chevrolet grill.
Yeah, he's got a full showing right now of nothing but Bobby Terrell. Terrell still trying to fight it as he's trying to get that nose on the inside there. And he's right there, Jeremy. He is right there. And right behind him is Richie Coy. So those top 3 right now, you can, you said it before, you can throw a blanket underneath those top 3 because they are all 3 within reaching distance of each other.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that the 23 and the 75 have kind of fallen off a little bit here. They were racing so hard, they all bunched up, but I expected them to all stay bunched up for a little bit longer. But Mr. Brody Hanna and Chuck Sweeting have elected to kind of fall back a little bit, maybe trying to feel it out. Maybe they just don't have a good long run. We're about to find out here. We're currently on lap number 18 of scheduled 100, so we're almost a fifth of the way already. We've been so focused on this battle, Dustin. Time's been flying as these guys are racing pretty hard for the top spot.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, we got battles all over the place. So you got the top 3 battling it out. You have right now Brody Hanna and Chuck Sweeting duking it out for that 4th place position. Those guys are real close as well. You got a huge battle and gaggle going back from about 6th place on. You got Nicholas Casey moving on up to that 6th place position, going around Kenneth Scholes, our in-rig driver for the night, on that high side. But right behind him, I mean, you can see these trucks they are dead heat close. You got 2x2 racing back there for about that 11th position. I tell you what, Jeremy, this is the type of racing that I would expect from Chicagoland.
Oh, 100%. And you're seeing the 55 right now, even part of the 32 is utilizing the 3rd lane in the middle, 1 and 2. I expect that lane to come in a little bit longer, but right now only on lap number 20, they're already utilizing it, Dustin. So there is tons of speed to be found, even when it's cloudy, and the inside typically works a little better with a grippier track. That's not stopping these guys from venturing up high, and that 55 especially is utilizing it to his advantage, keeping that 1 behind him, keeping that 7 behind him. We know those are some fast trucks back there. So Mr. Brayton and that 55 holding up pretty strong right now in the first couple of grooves.
Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of trucks start to move up there. They see that there is speed up there, so they're starting to move up there. The issue is now all these trucks are moving up there, so that's the preferred line. So now these drivers are going to have to start searching to find ways to pass. And right now you see that 32 of Andrew Palicki right now going on the outside of the 11 of Tony Solari. on that outside. So, Jeremy, I'm telling you, the outside, that mid to high groove, that is the hot zone right now for these drivers. And you see Tony Solari going way high on that one, testing it out. I don't know if there's enough rubber laid down on the track yet to really start pushing that high line like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed that he was running about the middle of the track, and he just got on the gas too early. That truck slid through the third lane real quick, got to the fourth, and he had a left row. He was going to hit the wall. He just tried to get a little too much out of that truck, which, as we know, if you slide the tires like that in the middle of the corner, that just speaks nothing but you're going to feel it later in that tire wear situation. So that could put a damper on his long run here, only 23 laps in. Expecting these trucks to make it right at lap 50, do a one-stop green flag. As long as everything is green the entire way, I do believe it's going to be a one-stop race. I guess we'll find that out in another 25, 26 laps or so. But our driver, Kenneth Scholes right now, Dustin, still under fire by that 32. They have not let each other go all race long, and they're still side by side. This time in 1 and 2, that 32 gets a great launch over the 91 on the top. Looks like he's able to clear him, and that 14 lane out, trying to do the same thing. Ooh. Patiently gives it up.
Yeah, a smart move. I mean, we're only 24 laps in. We're, coming up to a quarter of the way through this race. As the leaders pass the line now, we're a quarter of the way through the race. There's no point in really pressuring it like that. It's a good veteran move by the 14 of Lane Allen. Back it down. Don't cause, don't put yourself in a predicament where, it could wreck you or wreck a couple trucks. Back it out, gather yourself back up, come at it again in the next corner.
Yeah, plenty of time, and as you see this race, track has plenty of grooves to run in, so it's not like you have to beat the one guy, even though you see the top middle section is already coming into play here. That leaves that bottom open. So if you can cool those tires off for a couple laps, put your truck down there, you can make a pass or two, no problem.
Speaking of pass, we just had a pass for second place too while we were focusing on all the racing action in the back. Richie Coy and Bobby Terrell have been duking it out for the last couple laps, and Richie Coy was able to pass that number 4 on that high side to move himself up into second place, and he's now trying to charge down that 12 of Justin Belmonte.
Yeah, I had to go back and take a look at that myself. Yeah, he kind of picked off the 4, went a little bit higher than him in 1 and 2, got that great launch, able to secure second place, and quickly on the move, as you said, he's on that attack. He's already gained probably 3 truck lengths in 1 lap trying to get to that number 12. So we might see our 4th lead change this evening.
Yeah, very well could. He's gaining and gaining very, very fast is that of Richie Coy. And again, he's utilizing that high side, Jeremy. That's exactly what he's doing, where Belmonte's still kind of hovering around that first groove to, kind of flirting with that second groove. Richie Coy, along with a lot of these other drivers, has elected to move it up to that third groove solidly. So that's they're seeing the speed that's carrying through the corner.
Yeah, they really are. Looks like Bobby Terrell's not really trying that upper lane as everybody else is, but that speed's there. 1 and 2, definitely you carry it a little bit better. Turn 3 and 4, you see Richie Coy probably going to be running as high as you're going to see most of these guys. There might be a couple who creep the right side Goodyears onto the 4th lane there. When we say lanes, we're dividing the track via the seams, and there's no white dotted lanes per se, but if you see the seams on the track, you know what lane we're talking about. But you're going to see it more so in 1 and 2 than you will 3 and 4, though I've had it seem sometimes if you get that truck or car to rotate well enough on that top lane, it's just nothing but a great launch on exit to the 19. You have to give up some speed in the entrance. That's normal. But the launch of the X of the top is just so strong here.
Yeah, but again, something that everybody has to keep in the back of their mind. We're 30 laps into this 100-lap event already. These tires, that's tire management is a thing when it comes to this track here. As you see the 19 drift up a little high, starting to flirt with that 4th lane coming off the corner, but look at the run that it gives him as he comes into that corner. And there's that give up that you were talking about, Jeremy, on corner entry, but he gains it on corner exit. Tire management is going to be a big thing. They got to try to stretch it to that halfway point to make this a one-stop race. So the more that these drivers race and the more that they shift lanes back and forth, trying to find speed, trying to find ways to pass, like your 2 front runners right now, Belmonte and Coy, they also have to keep in the back of their mind that, hey, I also have to conserve these tires.
And with speed comes a cost, and that cost is tire wear. iRacing kind of codes it well. iRacing registers you as going faster through a corner. Doesn't really take in consideration too much wheel input. So the more you run the top side of a track on iRacing, the more it accounts for your tire wear, even though you're slightly turning the wheel less. So you do have to be careful with it. You can't carry a lot of speed all the time on the top. It will bite you in the long run. But as you know, that 19, Richie Coy, Fury Motorsports, if there's one guy to not question the long run speed, and that's going to be that number 19 in that Ford F-150. He's got that truck. But Belmonte, surprisingly, still out front and doing well against that.
We have a truck making an unexpected cut down pit runner. The number 4, Bobby Terrell.
See what's going on here. Lap 33. I do believe the field mileage can make it to lap 50, so we're seeing what's going on here. Maybe he's going to divide it into threes. We'll have to find out here momentarily. We see the jack go up on the right side of that truck. We're going to see it go up on the left side here. 3, 2, 1. Yep, so it looks like he's just taking a routine stop, potentially, Dustin.
I mean, it's, again, it is not uncommon for us to see pit strategy here. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not, but I'm always a fan to see some of those unorthodox pit strategies to see how well they work out. Right now, you got a battle for that third position now with Bobby Terrell relinquishing that to come to the service of his crew. You got the 86. Looks like 86 is coming down, Jeremy, so I'm going to say that we're starting to see some green flag pit stops right now, because you got the 86 coming down, Justin Belmonte is down. You got Andrew Palicki is down. You got Stephen Allen down. Kevin Rupert, Sherwood Williford, Steve Loomis, and Gil Gawk as well coming down pit road. He's just got done with his service. So it looks like these are all scheduled, Jeremy.
You're making me look like a fool up here once again. Apparently they took out some of the field mileage. Richie Coy coming down. Your race leader's going to give that lead up to Brody Hanna. It looks like this will definitely be a two-stop race. Surprisingly, we've seen these trucks go a lot longer, so it's kind of surprising that they're going to cut this. I was going over the lap times, though. They already lost a second and a half of time between the green flag and where they're at now, 35 laps in. So that could be more of a tire wear issue, because I have seen these trucks go a lot longer than 30 laps on a 1.5-mile track. Yeah,
and it very well could be just that, as Tony Solari is come to the service of his crew as well. It could be a tire issue. Again, I mean, if these tires are getting chewed up out there on that track surface, you definitely do not want an ill-handling car. Brody Hanna coming in, as well as the 55 of Jeff Bratton is coming in. You want the fresh sneakers on your trucks there, so definitely want that happening. And I mean, it very well could, Jeremy, because I'm like you, I've seen these trucks go a whole lot longer than 35 laps at a mile and a halfer.
And I've raced with these guys too, in an ARCA race where if you stretch out your field mileage, you can make it one stop. A lot of people like to take two stops. I went one stop, thinking, you know what, less pit time on road. That's going to give me a better time on the track. And I was completely wrong. The two stoppers definitely destroyed the one-stop plan on anybody who tried it. So that's why I'm talking to you guys and not in these trucks being watched. So the number 7, Wayne Grossi, does give up that race lead, as basically almost everyone at this point, Dustin, has cycled through. This should bring looks like Bobby Terrell to the point here after everything goes through.
Yep, your first Sim Racing Points Truck Series driver to hit pit road for scheduled pit stops. So he's able to make up some of that time on the track, because again, you mentioned they already lost a second to a second and a half off of their their lap times that they were hitting since the drop of the green flag. So in that 4 or 5 lap stint since he came in, he's been out there, pulling hot laps, so he's able to stretch that time out while they were out there on colder tires and older tires.
Yeah, you got to be careful, though. Don't overheat those tires, because when they become hard like a rock there, it makes the truck miserable to drive for a long period of time. It takes a while to cool off the tires, especially here. I don't think the wheel stops turning. This is the only 1.5-mile track where the backstretch is not straight. it is a turn. So you're 100% of the time turning the wheel at some degree. So to cool off the tires here is nearly impossible. So you really don't want to overstretch your instruments there on the run, meaning don't go out there blazing qualifying laps because you're just going to regret it. You have to be patient, let the truck come in, and then you can kind of figure it out from there. But I've seen a lot of times where people go, you know what, these fresh tires feel so good, I'm going to make up so much time, and then 20 laps later, they're like, well, there goes that.
Yeah, and the thing is Bobby Tyrrell knows that. I mean, it's defending series champion from the 2022 A season. I mean, he knows how to get it done. He's been in victory lane, so, I mean, a lot of these drivers, they know that. But yeah, I mean, you don't want to go out there and burn that stuff up. But right now, with pit stops being cycled through, our top 5 has jumbled a little bit. Already mentioned Bobby Tyrrell is running in that top spot right now. The 12 of Justin Belmonte is in second place. Richie Coy. So the next 3 are almost nose to tail. So that's going to be the 19 of Richie Coy. It's going to be the 86 of Nicholas Casey and the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. That's going to round out your top 5 after scheduled green flag pit stops.
6th place is Brody Hanna. 7th, Andrew Palicki. 8th, Lane Allen. 9th, Sherwood Williford. And 10th place, Kevin Rupert kind of rounds out that top 10 if you're kind of curious and weren't paying attention. Speaking of paying attention to the little column there on the right-hand side, your stat board looks a little different, Dustin. A little back pat to you for that thing looks so clean like it wasn't already.
Yeah, a little bit of work behind the scenes. Got to try to do things to stay fresh. We're still trying to get some stuff done behind the scenes to make things a little bit better and make the broadcast a little bit smoother. But like I said, we're getting there. But anything to make these drivers look better than they already make themselves look. That's the name of the game.
There you go. That's a good thought there. Enjoy that. These guys are kind of ticking laps down here. We're going to kick it to our halfway commercial break. Give a visual shout out to all of our sponsors out there. So stay tuned. We'll be back with you after a few short messages.
Are you ready to chase the moonlight? Community-based and talent-driven, Moonlight Speed Concepts has what you need to take your iRacing experience to the next level. Founded by passionate owners that care about the community and housing some of the top setup builders and drivers on the platform, Moonlight Speed Concepts offers custom paints, driver coaching, and setups for dirt, asphalt short track racing, and e-NASCAR competition. Partnered with top brands in both real world and simulation. Follow us on Facebook or visit moonlightspeed.com and find out why these businesses chase the moonlight, and why you should too. Moonlight Speed Concept, where all we chase is moonlight.
Back to full screen coverage of the broadcast for the Sim Racing Points Truck Series at the simulated Chicagoland Speedway. We left you off with Bobby Terrell coming out of the race off of pit road in first place, and things have not changed. Second and third place, however, they have not changed just yet, but that 19 Richie Coy is lurking. He is all over the back bumper, that number 12, Mr. Justin Belmonte, who's trying to solidify a good run. And we talked about him early, trying to get a good run in here, but that fourth place truck, Nicholas Casey, found his way in started himself in 11th place, up to fourth. Hard charger of the race so far, and he's still coming. He's moving. He's one of the fastest drivers on the track right now.
Yeah, he's definitely found his groove. And speaking of groove, look where he's running, right up there in that third groove right now. That's where that speed is carrying coming off. So he's definitely putting himself in position, as we are 4 laps over halfway through the scheduled 100-lap distance of this race. And these top 4, I mean, they are duking it out, and they've spaced themselves out a decent amount right now over 5th place of Chuck Sweeting.
Yeah, about a 1.5 to 2 second advantage right now between these 4 trucks and everybody else behind them. So putting on a good show for the fans, simulated or the ones watching on the broadcast here. Anytime you see a good group of drivers running for first place, it's always a good time, especially when you got Bobby Terrell, your defending champion, Belmonte, Richie Coy, Nicholas Casey. You know these guys are performing each and every week. And we've already seen them go side by side quite a bit, and they've been doing it super clean, super friendly. But they're not leaving anything out on the table. That number 86, Dustin, he is 2 truck lengths away from trying to take over third place right now.
Yeah, he is lurking right now. There's space out between the 19 of Coy and the 12 of Belmonte. And that space is being gobbled up right now by that 86, as he is all over the back end of that number 19 of Richie Coy. Definitely putting some pressure on him right now. And that's, again, that third groove. He gets such a good run. He's going to get right up on the back end of the 19. Good little shot promo there, too. Thank you there for our honorary nerd, Mr. Richie Coy. That was not intended, but just wanted to show you some of the good close racing. But look at the run he gets coming off of 4 right now. And he's going to get that run. He's going to poke that nose to that outside. He's got it going in. This right here could be the start, Jeremy. This is going to be some good side-by-side as the 19 and 86 are duking it.
Are you sure you didn't put that camera right on that rear bumper of the 19 for a reason?
No, I did not. I'm not that that self-entitled.
I know. But yeah, I'm surprised the 19, Mr. Richie Coy, didn't move up to the third lane. We see a lot of guys in the real world, when they run the same line as the guy behind them that's gaining ground, it kind of takes the air off the nose a little bit, kind of changes how the truck feels. It forces them into a new lane. And the 19 kept running in the second groove down, so it allowed that 86 to kind of freely pick off that 19. and he's bad fast. Maybe the 19 just knew that he was way too much faster than what he was anticipating and just let him by. But the 86 has already got 3 to 4 truck links on Richie. I said on that number 12, Mr. Belmonte.
Yeah, Belmonte definitely chasing down Bobby Tyrrell as we just hit lap 59 of 100. But the thing you got to keep in the back of your mind is these drivers started pitting at about lap 32. So right around lap 64 is going to be where they were, you can start seeing drivers possibly start to come down pit road again in the same manner as what you did earlier for those green flag scheduled pit stops, try to get some fresh tires. And based on how it went, Bobby Tyrrell was the first truck that pitted under green flag conditions, so he's more than likely going to be the first truck to peel off to start those second stints of green flag pit stops.
And also to notate as well, the 2 guys behind him pitted 3 laps later on lap 35. So 3 laps fresher tires, and you can kind of see that advantage, not so much with the 12 and the 4, but you can definitely see it with the 86, who's been able to run that top lane and conserve the tires, which means pretty impressive stuff. That rear tire must be rotating quite well to get around this track and not lose too much speed. But Nicholas Casey is now making this thing an official 3-truck battle here for the race lead, as we see the last guy on the grid, Mr. Tony Solari, exiting pit road on that shot. So I think we might be starting to see those stops real soon.
Yeah, he entered the pits and come out, so that was a scheduled green flag pit stop. Might be trying to get it done early, try to capitalize on what Bobby Tyrrell did on the last set of green flag pit stops, where Bobby was running third, came in, and by the time everything cycled out, he had about a 1.5 2-second lead over second place. So Tony Solari might be trying to play that ground game there a little bit and try to make up some track position.
He's definitely doing a good job. Might as well, if you're running in the back half of the field, you might as well just throw anything at the kitchen and see if it flames. Let's see if it sticks, see if it cooks well. So we'll have to keep an update on that. But back up to the race lead. The difference with that 86 is he is 1 lane up, half a lane up. You mentioned it already. It seems to work well on exit. I think this time, though, that number 12 and 4 kind of moved up to that 3rd lane as well. And you can see it's kind of stalled the 86 out. I see him wobble a little bit in 3 and 4. He doesn't get the launch off the corner because he doesn't have that downforce on the nose of that truck. So when they move up to his lane, it's kind of stalled out the 86 from moving or advancing any far forward.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's going to make, once he does catch up to him, it's going to make passing even harder because he's going to have to come out of that lane because now both of those trucks, being the 4 and the 12, are now holding that lane. But you see him really trying to push the 4 of Bobby Tyrrell as the 12 of Belmonte trying to go on the inside here. Tyrrell and Belmonte side by side through 1 and 2, and now Nicholas Casey going down. He's going to try to make this a 3-wide battle if he can get that run. He puts that nose on the inside, 3 wide going down the backstretch, Jeremy.
For the race lead, brought Richie Coy right to this party real quick here. That 12 of Belmonte does make it happen for the 4th lead change this evening amongst 2 drivers, just that 12 and the number 4. But the 86 is here to now spoil that party. Richie was unsuccessful on that last time, but that 86 is looking pretty stout. Let's see if he can make this happen before the 2nd round of pit stops.
Yeah, and you see right now that the 12 of Belmonte back down to that 1st to 2nd groove right now, but that 86 is holding strong right around that 3rd groove, so he's starting to close up that gap a little bit, gives it up in corner entry, but now, I mean, you see him, he's putting those tires now up into that 4th groove, going around. 12 of Belmonte coming down for his scheduled pit stop.
No, and it's an unsafe one. Oversped, hits the grass, the cone, everything in between. The race is over for Belmonte as long as it stays green the rest of the way. That is super unfortunate. We did see the 11, Dustin, of Tony Solari coming through on the inside, almost clipped the back of the 12, but you got to wonder if that was part of his mindset and why he came in so hot. We're going to get a replay of that, but super unfortunate there for a dominant truck there, that 12 Belmonte.
Yeah, unfortunate turn of events took place there, and like you said, there's a 19 of Richie Coy's coming in. That is going to end his night as Belmonte. Unsafe pit entry on that one there. Coming in, hitting that cone, and I would have to say, I mean, pit speed possibly could have been coming in a little hot as well on that one with his out of control and as uncomfortable as that truck was coming in. But Kevin Rupert hitting pit lane, Kenneth Scholes hitting pit lane, Jeff Bratton and Steve Loomis all coming down for scheduled pit stops. Only a couple laps shy of what I said they were going to start coming down. So this right here will be your final green flag pit stop of the race, Jeremy.
Yeah, we're seeing a few drivers take advantage of that now, and it's only a matter before time we're going to see these leaders do the same thing. I'm surprised we did not see the 12 get held in pit road for a speeding violation, because that thing came in real hot. It was an unsafe pit entrance. I would have thought they would have tagged him. Right now he's sitting one lap down, the first one lap down, so maybe not as bad as what we thought, Dustin. It was a slower entrance, virtue of him spinning out, but I would have thought for sure he would have been hit with some kind of penalty. But we're going to have to wait and see. He's going to get really lucky if the game does not decide to give him one, but outside of that, guys are really spaced out here. Inside the top 5, we see the 4 of Bobby Terrell coming down to the service of his crew. 14, Lane Allen also following this lap by. So we're starting to come down a little bit further more.
Yep, Nicholas Casey, your race leader, coming in for his green flag scheduled pit stop. Has to lock him up a little bit. Might have been a little hot, but yeah, it's talking about if the 12 of Belmonte didn't get hit with a penalty, definitely going to mark himself as lucky. But either way, he lost a lot of time coming in because that truck was way sideways. So we'll have to see what goes on here. You see the 86 coming in the service of his crew right now. That is going to relinquish the lead to the 75 of Chuck Sweeting out front, followed by the 7 of Wayne Grossi.
Yeah, more coming down pit road. A little verbal exchange and a little paint traded by the 12 and the 19. Accidental contact in turn number 3 as they beat doors. Them two decided or thought that neither one of them were at fault. Thought maybe something was going on there, but my quick replay saw nothing really exciting there. But we're going to figure it out after the race. But going forward here, number 7, Wayne Grossi, halfway down pit road here, coming to his crew. Only one currently on pit road. Waiting for just a few more drivers. See Chuck Sweeting servicing his truck actually, so there was 2. Should cycle most of these guys through, Dustin. Should put, right now, Richie Coy looks like he's going to cycle out first.
Yeah, Richie Coy is going to cycle out first, and the 12 of Belmonte, even after that pit entry, man, he has got to mark himself as one of the luckiest drivers with that pit entry not to get tagged by iRacing race control with any type of penalty. So definitely going to be telling him to play the lottery after that one there with everything that worked out. So... but yeah, right now, Richie Coy out front. All green flag pit stops have been done. Richie Coy leading. Justin Belmonte, you see him on your screen right now. 3rd, Brody Hanna back there under a lot of pressure, though, from that 86 of Nicholas Casey. So he has got himself 28 laps to get back up to where he was at, battling for that lead as he goes on the inside right now. Brody Hanna to take over that last podium spot in 3rd.
Yep, definitely secures that, and that 86 is bad, fast. I expect him just to keep trucking along back to where he was essentially right before the pit stops. Right there battling for that race lead. He's got the truck to do it, though. He has to make 2.5 seconds up. It's going to be a tall glass of water to drink through entirely, but if someone's going to do it, that 86, he has shown so much speed this season, and I expect him to make every last effort of it to get back up there to battle for the lead.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's pulling, lap times and running the way that he was, that's that entire second run after the first green flag pit stops, Jeremy, and that's exactly what he's doing right in that 3rd lane, picking up right where he left off between that 2nd to 3rd groove. He's got time to chase him down. He sees him right now. He could probably smell their exhaust at this point in time. He's so close. The next 2 trucks up there, we're on board with Nicholas Casey right now. Those next 2 trucks up there crossing the start-finish line, that is your race leader, Richie Coy, and your 2nd place runner, Mr. Justin Belmonte. So in striking distance, 25 laps left, Jeremy, 3/4 of the way through this race.
Yeah, Belmonte better be counting all of his ducks, because I don't know how he came or did not come out with a penalty on that one. That was insane. Got super lucky there, but he's going to make every every moment of it worth it as he's going to try to run down that 19. And keep in mention, too, at that 86 of Nicholas Casey, 4 laps later he pitted compared to everybody else. So that truck has 4 laps fresher tires. It's only going to be good news for him as he did that with 3 laps fresher tires on the last stop. He was able to get back to the race lead from being far distance away. So I think he's going to have the same kind of success this time. As I'm watching his lap times, he's also, last time I mentioned it was 2.7. He's already gained a half a second at 2.2 away.
2.2 away, gained a half a second. Jeremy, is it safe to say that that driver in that number 86 might be a little focused right now?
You know, it's very possible. And you know how you do that? You do it with a certain product in hand. Maybe if you have your sim truck that has a cup holder, put a Nerd Focus energy drink right there. It's going to be your best friend for any type of long haul situation, whether if you've got a lot of homework to take care of, you're trying to cram into the last night, whether you got like a 2-hour race in front of you, does not matter. Nerd Focus has your back. Head over to nerdfocus.com. Super Nerd at checkout for 10% off.
Yeah, definitely going to need a lot of focus on that one there. I do want to give a shout out as well to Martin Sports. Haven't had a chance to shout it out, Jeremy, because I mean Martin Sports is the official Lucky Dog presenter, but these drivers have been keeping it green flag like we expect, so we don't get a chance to shout out some of these sponsors as much as possible. So Martin Sports, again, some of these drivers might want a little bit of grip. They got fresh grip on their trucks right now with those fresh Goodyears. They might want a little grip on their steering wheel. Go to martinsports906.com, pick yourself up a set of those excellent sim racing gloves, best sim gloves on the market. And while you're there, pick yourself up a shirt, pick yourself up a hoodie or a hat. You name it, they got it, and they'll get you outfitted, comfortable, excellent pricing, and top-notch staff. martinsports906.com, promo code SUPERNERD. How much is that going to save you, Jeremy?
A whopping 25% off. You're not going to find that kind of discount anywhere else in the business. 25% off is huge, Justin.
Absolutely. So battle still going on. Richie Coy still leading the way right now. He got a little over a half a second lead over second place Belmonte. But I tell you what, Nicholas Casey has dropped that distance he has to almost a second, Jeremy. Creeping in on under a second right now on that second place runner, Justin Belmonte.
Oh, he's hauling the mail, and it's huge. A lot of ground gain just in the past 5 laps or so. We talked about on lap 76, him being 2.2 out. Now he's 1.1, so in 5 laps he's over a second gained. Only 1.1 out of Richie Coy, and he is 1 truck length away from passing this number 12, which is a little bit of continuing that Martin Sports plug. You know, if Martin would actually make tires out of the sim glove material, Belmonte wouldn't have kicked it sideways entering pit road because he would have had all the grip in the world. And that's now he's going to be falling to the 86 Nicholas Casey as he's officially taken second place. I set with just over a half a second away on that 19.
Yeah, 19 laps to go in the race, and Nicholas Casey starting in that 11th spot has been up and led some laps, now setting his sights on that number 19 of Richie Coy. We know Richie Coy is not going to give it up lightly. The guy is a top-notch competitor, just like every driver in this series here. But right now, your top 5 sit as you see him in your screen right there. The 19 of Richie Coy, the 86 of Nicholas Casey. Justin Belmonte now falls back to 3rd. Bobby Terrell is now running 4th. Chuck Sweeting rounds out your top 5. Behind him in that 23, Brody Hanna running a clean race. And again, an excellent run right now. We've been calling his name more and more each race, it seems, Jeremy. That 32, Andrew Palicki, running in that 7th spot. So a good solid top 10 run right now for that 32 team. Right behind him is Kevin Rupert in the 1. Good solid clean run for him as well. Has himself solidly in the top 10. And to round out the last 2 positions in your top 10, the 33 of Sherwood Williford and the 14 of Lane Allen.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that 32. He's been putting on a faster and faster performance each week here. He's kind of found his groove in toward the middle half of the second season here in these trucks. That number 13 is not having the best race overall, but him as an individual running this league, he's been putting up better and better stats. So currently running in 7th place. He started 7th, so he's been right there at that midfield all race long. Been very consistent, running a solid race and doing well. As we kick it over, battle for the race lead, and it's probably going to be not much of one. You see the 86 on that inside of was race leader, the 19, Richie Coy. Is Richie still putting on a good battle here as he's matched his speed there on the front stretch?
Yeah, these two are still side by side right now. It almost looks like Nicholas Casey would have been able to clear him, but again, Richie Coy now in that faster groove. So close are these drivers going into turn 3, and Richie Coy able to start battling back. These guys are neck and neck as they come in. A little bit of a bobble there by the 86, and Nicholas Casey is going to allow the 19 of Richie Coy to maintain that lead.
Swapping lead changes. We're up to 8 total lead changes amongst 4 drivers tonight. I thought that 86 was going to make it happen, but Richie had other plans, and it's really shown how much that high side line has kicked in, Dustin. I thought he would have had a clean pass even on the bottom, but just running up on that 3rd groove, that is so much faster than the bottom right now.
Well, and the thing is right now is Richie Coy is playing a smart game right now. He knows where the fast groove is at, and he knows where the 86 has been running. He's been running in that 3rd lane there, so if Richie Coy takes that 3rd lane up, it forces the 86 to get out of where he has been the fastest to really try to work for that pass. So again, it's a good defensive play by the 19 of Richie Coy, and as I always say, I mean, good defense is the way to go. At least that's what the 85 Bears always told me.
Yeah, they always say that the defense wins championships and the offense just wins football games. So when you play the defense, this is why Richie won 2 titles last season in 2022 opener. He didn't do that by accident, so he knows how to play this game. He says the 86 bad fast, but he's taking that air off that nose, making up change-up lines to where his truck doesn't feel as comfortable. It might not be the fastest line for Richie, but it's definitely making the 86 a lot slower, which kind of counteracts that process there. And you're seeing an awesome battle for the lead as we're coming up to 11 laps to go.
Yeah, 11 laps to go. The 86 and Nicholas Casey all over the back end there as you see that shot. Hey, I think he might be running a Toyota. All over him going into turn 1. And these drivers are going to do that. They're feeling each other out right now, Jeremy, trying to see what's going to go on. The 86 Nicholas Casey, he's trying to set the 19 of Richie Coy up right now, seeing as he has to get out of his preferred lane, out of his preferred groove. So he's trying to set him up to figure out the best time to get that run, because he's going to have to dive it low. And here he goes. Got that run. He's going to nose it on the inside. Nicholas Casey on the inside of the 19 of Richie Coy. Excellent run going down the front stretch. We'll see if he can have him cleared, but right now it looks like Richie Coy in that 3rd lane, 2nd to 3rd lane, trying to fight back.
He's fighting, and if you look just 5 truck lengths behind him, we have found the number 4 of Bobby Terrell, who's put himself back.
Oh, contact!
Contact! The 19 gets put into the wall by the 86, and it's going to allow that number 4 of Bobby Terrell make that pass on both guys. New race leader, and a lot of the top 3 just got mixed up here, Dustin.
Yeah, got mixed up in a hurry. That was a crazy turn of events there, but I mean, those drivers have been running so close that whole race. As they come off, you're going to see just slight contact as they get ready to go into the turn 3 right now on this replay. I mean, it was bound to happen, Jeremy. It was bound to happen that these drivers were eventually going to make some contact.
Yeah, the thing is, with the safer barrier walls and how they transition, sometimes it's more abrupt, and when you get to turn number 3, it's not the smoothest transition. The wall kicks in quite a bit. That was not compensated, I don't think, by those two on being on the same page. And so they're already kind of tight there on the top half of the track, and when that wall comes in a little bit, it just brought them too close, and like you said, it just had to happen sometimes, and it does make contact, unfortunately. It is fortunate for the number 4, who has taken so much of an advantage over it, has a 0.8 of a second lead over the 86 now, and has brought Chuck Sweeting inside the top 3.
Yeah, Chuck Sweeting now inside the top 3. Nicholas Casey the lesser of wear out of those two drivers that made contact going in there. Richie Coy fell all the way back to 5th place with that. But Bobby Terrell, definitely the big gainer on that one, and Chuck Sweeting gaining 2 spots after that scenario. And the last replay that we got you, that was producer technical error. But this one right here is going to be the one right there. Just a slight bit of contact, but you see the 86 was able to maintain it off the wall where the 19 got into the wall. And there you see Bobby Terrell going by on the inside. So again, 19 definitely the hardest hit with that slight contact. But Jeremy, that's all it takes. It doesn't take much contact for things to really go south.
No, it was just a marginal difference. Was not much there, and it's all it takes to really change up the ball game, especially when you're competing at one of the highest levels here at Full Throttle Sim Racing. It's just, some things sometimes have to give. It changed the scope of everything. It's put Richie Coy back to 5th place, your points leader. He's gonna have a pretty solid run at the points, Dustin. Coming into this thing 18 points ahead of Belmonte. But it puts Belmonte into 4th now. So he's going to probably gain a point over Mr. Ritchie, who's 2 seconds now back of 5th place, or 4th place rather. Outside of that, though, Mr. Chuck Sweeting and Bobby Terrell are going to try to take full advantage of this as we're winding it down with just 3.5 laps to go.
Yeah, Jeremy, and I don't see Nicholas Casey having anything for that number 4 of Bobby Terrell right now. I think that contact did a little bit more to that truck and the tires than what even the camera angles and the replays could have shown, because he has continually fallen back, almost back to 1 point, actually at 1.9 seconds right now, soon to be 2 seconds off your race leader, Bobby Terrell. So way that things are going, this is Bobby's race to lose at this point in time. He is getting no pressure from behind. He just has to run those clean, fast laps with 3 laps to go.
Yeah, the 86 was making great gains. He got to the 19. He was so close to passing Richie. But even though the 86 didn't get into the wall, at least that I noticed, that little bit of a scuffle. Yeah, a little bit of a scuffle, Dustin, has slowed down the 86 quite a bit. He's went from 0.8 to 2.1 seconds back of Bobby Terrell. So it's definitely knocked something out of that truck to where he can't compete at his highest level. And this is going to bring us to the white flag. One of your new animations here. If you look on the right-hand side of your screen as he goes over the line here, white flag, 1 lap to go. Mr. Bobby Terrell at number 4, looking to secure this thing and take it home.
Yeah, Bobby Terrell clean out front by almost 2.5 seconds. Works his way through turn number 2 right now, down that long curved, and you can see that curve there on your screen, curved backstretch. 2 more corners, Jeremy, and Bobby Terrell is going to find himself in victory lane for the first time in the 2022B Sim Racing Points Truck Series. Your race winner of the Chicagoland 150, defending series champion, Mr. Bobby Terrell.
First one of the season for this guy, running a limited schedule here in 2022B. It is the 4th recorded winner of the season so far out of 6 races now. Pretty exciting, eventful last half of the race there, Dustin.
Yeah, yep. Like I said, I mean, close racing. It was bound to happen. I mean, these drivers, they always push the limits. There was nothing malicious on that. It was just good, hard racing between the 86 and the 19. And neither one of them really gained anything on it. It's, that little bit of contact there ended up hurting both of the trucks and took both trucks out of contention. But, I mean, it was just hard, close racing going for that top spot.
It was, and Bobby Terrell was very thankful that it happened not to him, but to the 2 people in front of him, which allowed him to just zoom by and take full advantage of that. Brings home the W tonight, as we're going to kind of wind this thing down to go over the full standings here with you guys for the 16 truck field for the Sim Racing Points race at Chicagoland Speedway. Mr. Bobby Terrell, of course, bringing it home, taking home the checker flags. First place. Second place, Nicholas Casey. Third place, you're going to find Mr. Chuck Sweeting. Fourth place, Justin Belmonte. Fifth place will be Brody Hanna. Sixth place, Richie Coy. Seventh place, Andrew Palicki. Eighth place, Kevin Rupert. Ninth place, Layden Allen. And to round out tonight's top 10, Sherwood Williford.
Yeah, Kenneth Scholes, our in-rig driver for the night. We've seen a couple shots from him. Going to round out in 11th. Wayne Grossi's going to finish in 12th. Jeff Bratton will finish the night in 13th. Gil Gawk, who has had some good, strong runs in practice, going to finish in 14th. Steve Loomis will round out 15th. And ending the field tonight in 16th place, Mr. Tony Solari.
And that should bring to the opening of the Martin Sports post-race show that we do every single time on Nerditudes. You can talk to your top three and see what their take was on tonight's race. As they're getting these guys out of the trucks, maybe some reluctant to get out more so than others, but we're gonna maybe some wants to keep their helmet on, and try to have some words with somebody else. But I think Mr. Chuck Sweeting is available, as we're going to try to bring in that driver, the number 75. Chuck, you got a copy?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's going good, man. I know you probably didn't expect to be talking to us with about 10 laps to go, but then things changed. How was that truck out there for you tonight?
Yeah, I started off a little bit off. It's too tight, and I didn't really know that until about halfway through the race. I freed it up on that last stop, and I think I was just faster than anybody, but I was too far behind. I got lucky to get third with whatever was going on up front there, and picked up a couple spots there. But not a bad night, but we were just a little bit off tonight.
A little bit off, but you know what? I mean, how often do you guys come to Chicagoland? Almost kind of reminiscent of Nashville Super Speedway on Monday, right? I mean, your guys' notebook coming here is probably old, got some dust on it, had to blow it off a little bit. But I mean, overall, I mean, you had a fantastic race. Stayed out of trouble with a little bit of contact that ended up affecting the 86 and the 19. Going forward from this one here, I mean, it was a good, clean race, caution free all the way through. What are you looking for? I mean, it seems like this season here, you've been on a very consistent run, good rail there. And I know it's a 2-car team with Gator Racing. What can we expect from Gator Racing in the 75 and 85?
Should be about the same, consistently have some speed. You're right about Chicago. We haven't been here in a long time, and
I don't think anybody has.
No, and I like the track all right, and but yeah, that hurt, everybody a little bit. Probably had to do extra work to try to get it to work, and and then you kind of relearn the track as a driver too. But the rest of the season should be status quo, and as long as we come with unload with something competitive, then we can keep this consistency up.
Yeah, definitely hope to see that consistency stay a part of Gator Racing for sure. You guys have been putting on some awesome lap times all season long. So congratulations on your podium finish in third place. We always give you that moment to thank anybody. So yeah, the floor is yours.
Yeah, just thanks to any fans tuning in. Thanks to the sponsors and the league admins for all the work they do. And I look forward to rewatching y'all's broadcast.
Yeah, appreciate it. Kind words, Chuck. You go ahead and celebrate the rest of the night with your team, all right?
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
You got it. That was Mr. Chuck Sweetie, the driver of that number 75 Gator Racing Chevrolet. Now it's time to bring in second place, Mr. Nicholas Casey, who put on an awesome race all race long, winding home one spot shy of first place. Casey, you got a copy?
I'm here, fellas.
Hey, man, congratulations on a pretty solid run overall, bringing it home second place. That truck was pretty bad fast. I have to take you back to that little incident there, Richie Coy. To us, it just looked like it was clean, hard racing up until turn 3. The wall kind of came in close with that safer barrier, and you guys made contact. But what was your take on that?
In my opinion, he turned down too early. But that's racing. Got to shout out Belmo for all the help on the setup. He without him, I wouldn't have been that fast. He had the same truck. He had a chance to win. This track is so racy, so fun. Can't wait for next week.
Absolutely. Now it's I know after that contact and everything else, it seemed like your truck struggled to try to get up to speed. Did it do a little bit more? Because we went back and watched the replay live on air, and it didn't look like there was any contact made between your truck and the wall. But, did it seem like it did a little bit more damage, maybe scuffed those tires more? You just didn't have the speed or the grip afterwards?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm not sure if it was damage or the tires, but got snappy loose. There was nothing I could do after.
And that's an unfortunate thing on that one there. Like I said, I mean, it's you and your teammate Belmonte were doing an excellent job, had a good run. Belmonte lucked out coming into pit road, hitting that cone and everything else, and didn't get flagged for a penalty, and he was up there. So, I mean, KC Racing definitely had two bad fast trucks for sure.
Thank you, fellas. Thanks to Nerditudes for broadcasting. I got a couple of people watching, so hi. Have a good night, fellas.
Man, appreciate the kind words. Yes, and have a good night as well. Celebrate the second place with your teammate. You guys both put on a hell of a show tonight.
Thank you.
And that was second place, Mr. Nicholas Casey, in that 86 lonesome Toyota Tundra out there. Now it's time to bring in your race winner, Mr. Part-Timer for 2022B, Mr. Bobby Terrell. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I copy.
Hey, man, I maybe expected maybe third place. You're coming in there looking pretty stout, and that while the 19 and 86 were battling out, and then things happened, and here you are, man. So, congratulations on coming on with the W tonight. Your race overall, it looked like your truck was there, then it wasn't. It looked like you maybe had a chance. If that scuffle wasn't there, do you think you would have had the chance to at least get around for second, maybe even first?
It's hard to say. I think Nicholas, he pitted later than all of us, so he probably had the best set of tires. So it'd been hard to say. I mean, it was. I hate that they got together a little bit because it was fixing to get interesting, and I'd like to race just to see what would happen. I mean, it would have been interesting for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, from our viewpoint, it was interesting as it is. But I agree. I think it would have been more interesting to see what was going on. I mean, you had a lot of bad fast trucks out there. You led a lot of laps. The situation happened. You were able to get in that top spot. Now we know that you're running a part-time schedule here. First time in Victory Lane in the 2022 B season. Just how much of a part-time schedule are you going to run? Are we going to have more of a chance to possibly see that beautiful number 4 in Victory Lane maybe a couple more times this season?
Oh yeah. I'll be racing probably the rest of the year probably. I just missed. I don't know, the one race. Probably last week. I'm disappointed in last week because I had damage and didn't know it, but that's just the way it goes.
Well, it's glad to hear that you're going to be running the rest of the season. I know you said you were going to be missing some here and there, but now it's only going to be down just to one race missed. So we might see you in the points battle if you continue this impressive run here, getting the fourth different driver to win a race this season. But the floor is yours, man. Anybody out there that's watching Nerd TV, love to give a shout out to.
Just shout out to you guys for doing it. Brody and the admins for running the league. And that's all.
Yeah, appreciate those kind words. It would be a lot or just a little bit, either one, man. So go ahead and celebrate with everything going on with the victory tonight, and we will catch you next Wednesday.
All right, man. See you.
That was at number 4, Mr. Bobby Terrell, announcing he's most likely going to make the rest of the season, which should raise some eyebrows to those contenders out there. He's going to have one race missed, but that doesn't mean he can't be battling for a good spot in there in the points race.
Yeah, I mean, we seen it last season and a lot of the series. We had drivers come in that missed one race, and I mean, they found themselves up there battling for good points contention and everything else. So, missing one race, I mean, you can't have anybody better than Bobby Terrell in the seat missing one race trying to gain back some points. I mean, the guy knows how to win a championship. He's a defending champ. So, I mean, you're in good company.
Oh, 100% for sure. He's only 51 points out entering this thing, and how those things diced up tonight, it's going to put him somewhere in the mid 40s, maybe low 40s. So if he continues that up, we have, 11 more races or 9 more races, somewhere around that ballpark. It's a lot of time to make up some
It's
points.
doable.
Let's see if he can, win 2, 3, 4 wins in a row, and you might just find yourself there in the top 5. So anything is possible still with this many races in the season. Speaking of which, schedule for the rest of the season looking pretty interesting. I did see a tweet out there from iRacing showing laser scan images of the new Super Speedway Atlanta. So my hopes and dreams might be alive for next week as they take on Atlanta, or 2 weeks rather. Outside of that,
And
got
honestly,
Pocono, New Hampshire.
I'm hoping they do. I'm hoping that they can do that, and Full Throttle Sim Racing can showcase that that new release on air. I think it'd be a fun one.
100%, yeah. I'm excited for it. That'd be cool. I'm also excited for Lucas Oil. I've always loved that track. Never gets enough love. It's always a super fun track to watch.
Such a technical track too. So technical.
Yeah, it's 2-3 lanes. You can run 2 or 3 wide there if you do it right, and even though it's a short track, it's kind of crazy. So, and then Daytona, of course, closes out the season. Stay tuned; it's going to be a blast, especially with Bobby Truck and me in there full time the rest of the season. But we're going to close this thing out, Dustin. We got a quick couple shout outs we love to give out every time we close out our broadcast, Full Throttle Sim Racing. If you want to be a part of this action, I said at the beginning, sign up, FTSR.net. It's the only place to go if you're looking for some clean, hard racing for open setups or fixed, free or paid. Any options out there for you. Mach 1 Performance, the Cup Series sponsor. It's a race fabrication shop for any type of dirt and oval, pavement, oval style cars. So if you're in the area of Mach 1 Performance, drop your car off over there. They get you covered. Sim Racing Points, official truck series sponsor every Wednesday. And sponsor of the Nerditudes. You're going to head over to simracingpoints.com. Get your league registered. They got you covered with a bunch of different stats. However you want it displayed on your site, they got you. Martin Sports, that's martinsports906.com. Use that code SuperNerd at checkout for 25% off of all the stuff he offers from your waist up. They basically have you covered entirely. And the fastest turnaround in the business for custom orders. iRacing iFlag, the official flag partner for the Nerditudes. You did not see a caution tonight, so you did not really see their logo much on the top right-hand side of the screen. But when the caution does come out or any type of notification, this little device has you covered 100%. Easy to install, easy to set up, and it's super bright, going to cover you in any type of situation that's on the racing surface. Head over to iRacingIFlag.com. Use that code SuperNerd once again for this time 15% off.
Yeah, and then you have your you are outfitted with Martin Sports. You got the sim gloves. You got the iRacing iFlag. What better way to finish it off than having that D box underneath your racing seat to give you all the feels of the cars, the rumble strips, the bumps, the revs, the turns, the slides, everything. No better place, no better product than The Butt Kicker. Visit them at thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code NERDTV to save you a little bit at checkout. Want to thank Moonlight Speed Concepts, now known as Moonlight Speed, at moonlightspeed.com, the official pave setup provider. They got you covered from advanced legends all the way up to the next gen cars and everything in between. If you want to get yourself some much needed wins, visit moonlightspeed.com. And from what I hear, this week's setup is lightning fast, so give them a check out. On the dirt side, we want to thank houseofspeed.us. Again, same deal as moonlightspeed.com, only on the dirt side. They like to get a little down and dirty, and don't we all? You want some much needed wins on there. These are tested and tried true setups. They will get you some W's on the dirt oval only. Nothing else, unfortunately. So for you rallycross individuals, sorry, you're going to have to try to get them somewhere else. But if it goes around in a circle on dirt, they got you covered. houseofspeed.us. And we want to thank our official energy partner of Nerditudes, Nerd Focus, known as the Think Drink. It's going to keep you super focused all the way through, no matter what you're doing, whether you are doing some late night gaming, whether you are doing some racing in a long 500-mile Talladega race, or whether you just want to try to have some energy because you've got 4 kids and you got to try to keep up with them and you don't want to have that crash. Nerd Focus got you covered. You got sugar and sugar-free variants. Check them out at nerdfocus.com. Promo code SUPERNERD. Save you 10%.
You must have had a lot of Nerd Focus there because you had a 500-mile Talladega race and you have 4 kids. So, that drink's your lifesaver sometimes. But that's going to bring tonight's event to a close. We're going to catch you guys not this coming Monday. That is 4th of July. So these guys are not racing. So we're going to come back at you live next Wednesday, July 6th. And that's going to be for the Truck Series at Atlanta, whether it's Super Speedway or not. Who knows?
Super Speedway.
Until then, Super Speedway. That's my vote. I really, really want it.
Can we vote that?
Regular racing. Come on. But yeah, until then, stay tuned for Wednesday. Stay safe out there and make sure to get your nerd on, of course.
And it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. Stay nerdy.